This video basically I just wanted to deal with some decent strategies when it comes to trading. When should you enter a trade? How would you enter even trade? And what are the elements that you look for when you're trying to trade using Cipher script as your reference script or your data gathering script? I don't know how you want to call it, but I just think basically all you need is a plan. You don't really enter a trade without a plan. It's like in life, everything we do in life basically requires some let's say decent levels of plan, or you just have to sit down a little bit, relax, and think through life with regards to what you're trying to do. Then you make your step. So with a given market like this, it's far much more easier to say, oh, I'm going to short or I'm going to long. But the question I ask myself is, what regimented data have you gathered to base your decisions on? Because you don't really jump into a market and expect to trade. This is where I employ Cipher as my script or a reference data to base my trading decisions on. And first of all, what I look normally is I look for the direction. Trading is all about direction. You don't trade primarily using signals or signs or road signs. So this is basically the difference between Cipher and any other oscillator. These are my road signs. These are what I call my indicators. And these are also essential parts of trading. You really can't trade without employing other elements like your road signs. I'm not saying you can't trade without them, but you can trade by not literally making them your primary or your influential data gathering indicators. These are just supplementary. That's why I call them road signs. They are all cautionary algorithms, so they give me cautions. So these are just cautions. These are just cautions. These are just cautions. These are just cautions. And this shouldn't influence my whole trading decisions. Just because I saw this red diamond doesn't mean I have to short. It's a supplementary or your accessory. It's not your primary source of data in terms of making your trading decisions. So what I would do is I have my road signs checked. These are my road signs, and we have varieties of road signs. Then I have my Google map also checked. This is my Google map. And this is whereby I will make my primary decisions out, because these are my Google maps or my oscillators or waves. These are influential because these indicate, or these also has different elements such as your money flow, which is the green one, your momentum, which is the blue one, and we have your VWAP, which is another alternate momentum wave but functions differently. And all of these are moving. They are waves which are moving all the time. They move in accordance with time. I probably have to highlight again on time frames and how special they are in trading. So every movement you see is for a given period of time. So how do you trade? You trade based on directions, based on the very overall directions of these oscillators. If you see majority of these oscillators heading towards the upwards territories, in other words, if you see your engine, this is what I call the engine because it's the most influential oscillator. If you see all of them heading towards the positive territories, it means this is a time to buy. In other words, you need confluences of direction amongst these varieties of oscillators to determine your trading decisions. So if you have your engine in the positives, you have your VWAP, which is your turbo, and also in the positives, and you have your liquid in the positive, it means the market is primarily or evidently market is heading towards upwards. So a typical example is when you saw this one in the positive, the green also in the positive, the blue in the positive, price headed up. Then I use my indicators or my road signs as a backend or supplementary algorithm to decide as to whether should I buy more or should I start selling. Then we registered a black diamond here. Then we registered another red dot here. Then realized that momentum waves were heading downwards. Price kind of consolidated a little bit here. And again, we had another bump up and price went upwards. You could realize that money flow was heading upwards and VWAP also heading upwards. So these are influential oscillators that have massive impact on the very direction of price. Price tends to respond heavily on the very direction of these oscillators, not your road signs or your Google Maps. So these are your Google Maps or your oscillators always, and these are your road signs. If you really want much detail, I do have a course in the pipeline. As in a pipeline, when it's ready, I will probably make it available. Like I said, I always want to keep it simple and short, and I really don't want to bother you with so much jargons or words that are unrelatable. So I tend to use relatable words so that amateurs, rookies, people who don't know anything about trading can appreciate how trading works. So that without wasting much of your time, I really want to end here. Have a nice time.